What's up, everybody? 6 renowned classic questlines with Willie. Willie makes great content, so I'm really glad that Blizzard is working with Will. But let's go ahead and check this out.
Fresh classic anniversary realms are almost here.
I'm going to be playing it.
TVC progression and a fresh start for all. There is so much to look forwards to.
Stay tuned, team, because I will be playing it.
From the humble adventure, delivering letters and solving small problems, all the way to uncovering devious plots or taking on elite enemies in dungeons and raids, questing has always been a big part of World of Warcraft, and we've experienced so many amazing stories over the years. So to celebrate classic starting fresh on November 21st, let's talk about 6 quest stories within World of Warcraft Classic that have become legendary among the players for the stories that they tell.
Okay, so I thought these were going to be renowned quest lines, as in renowned as in to be painful as fuck and annoying, but no, these are actually renowned classic quest lines.
Which is notorious on the Horde side. Now the proper name of this quest
Mankrik, yep.
Battle, but you'll simply know it as the ever asked question in the Barrens: where's Mankrik's wife?
Yep.
This quest was elevated from a simple go and find this person to its status today for a few reasons, the biggest of which were, well, originally add-ons were few and far between in World of Warcraft. You had to go and find Mankrik's wife based off of the quest description, and
this quest, just as a quest, it's like comparing it to the Secrets of Azeroth or the Secrets of the 20th anniversary event. That's basically what this was back in the day. It was.
Everyone knows this quest is just because of how often this
you needed the freaking thoughtbot back in the day for that.
Well, let's just say they would often be a bit less than helpful, or they'd just give you some kind of Chuck Norris joke instead.
Yeah, I was about to say. That's Baron's chat.
Mankrik's wife are infamous due to being a core part of the typical Baron's chat experience. I mean, as a Horde player, you can reasonably get to this zone around level 12 or so, and then leave all grown up towards level 20. That many people in a single zone for that long is bound to make it memorable. Next up, you will almost certainly have heard the story of Edwin Van Cleef. The story of the Defias and Van Cleef has to be a
this one's so big just because of the dead mines.
It starts off as something very secretive and hidden, but the more you quest and investigate and search for information, you realize the whole situation is something much bigger than you thought.
Yeah.
His entire story,
the dead mines makes it really big.
Quests starting as early as Elwyn Forest.
I'm gonna be upset if the Scarlet Crusade are not involved in any of these quests.
Then you head over to Westfall, where you thin out their ranks, and finally to the Dead Mines, where Van Cleef is defeated once and for all. He also curiously drops an unsent letter, which all party members can
Kinda
read,
sad.
which after more journeying, investigation, and delivering, you'll be taken into the stockades, and then finally to defeat a corrupt noble in the quest to the attack. I mean, the Defias have built a whole destroyer ship underground to assault Stormwind. In fact, you can see the doors the ship would have left from just off the northern coast of Stranglethorn.
Didn't know that.
I didn't realize that was there for so long. Creepy
Wow.
zones, immortal necromancers, and finding a way to defeat them is the next adventure on this list.
I hate this quest.
15 quests, starting with Sven's Revenge in Duskwood, and finally ending with defeating the necromancer Morbent Fell.
I don't like this quest line at all.
Having you searching for answers to
Don't
a
hate it,
mysterious
it's just not great.
is lurking in the wood. You then have to prove your ability to Sven by defeating nearby undead, and finally you venture all the way over to the wetlands to craft a special weapon that will be capable of removing Morbent Fell's protection and essentially making him mortal for a short period of time. But when you finally arrive at the necromancer's house ready to take him on, it really brings the whole quest line together. He also proves a challenging fight in Classic, as he has a bunch of guards in the room with him, so grouping up is usually advised for the final step. And on top of that, in
I lost
so many other great stories, such as
what do you call it?
Reanimating the abomination,
An Iron Man character here.
To rest. Duskwood is a top tier zone. I don't think I ever do a playthrough without coming here. Let's head a bit more towards the late game content of Classic WoW now and check out some quests which are available to both factions.
Are we not bringing in Scarlet Crusade?
I definitely remember and that stands out to me is the absolutely heart-wrenching story of Pamela Redpath and the retelling of the Battle of Darrowshire in Eastern Plaguelands. This follows the story of the Redpath family.
I don't mind it.
When the Scourge attacked.
This one's sad too.
To find Pamela Redpath, who haunts the destroyed village of Darrowshire in southwest western eastern Plaguelands. Her spirit
Gotta
still
go get her
lingers on
teddy
there, but
bears.
she doesn't understand what's happened during the battle, or why nobody has returned to find her. After locating her doll, you set off to find her remaining family members. You learn that her father, Joseph Redpath, was slain and raised during the original battle, but perhaps we'll be able to alter that timeline and set his spirit to rest instead of having to meet this fate. So we go meet with a certain gnome who has become quite the regular occurrence in World of Warcraft over the years, none other than Chromie. Through her magic, she reveals extra pages in a book named The Annals of Darrowshire, which details the tragic history of this.
Chromie's what extends and makes this questline decent.
Colin Redpath, who cannot believe it exists, but wishes to discover the truth of what happened. So you set out to collect relics that will allow you to reenact the Battle of Darrowshire. You bring these relics over to Chromie and you prepare for the final battle. During this battle, the events that happened must go in the same way that they did originally, but with one difference. After Joseph Redpath is corrupted, he must then be slain so that his spirit can be saved. This can be a tough quest and not one to take on solo, but after a long battle,
you can. It's just really annoying. It's like long.
Who is finally reunited with his daughter Pamela, and they're able to go in peace. Speaking of the Eastern Plaguelands, we have a rather familiar face around there in classic WoW, none other than the renowned paladin Tyrion Fordring. At first he has you do some simple work, clearing out some dangers in the Plaguelands, taking care of carrion worms, bats and demon dogs. After you're done with all that, you've earned some of his trust, you've proven yourself, and then he properly introduces himself to you. He tells you of his son, Halen Fordring, who strayed from the path of the light and joined the Scarlet Crusade. He wishes for you to aid him in restoring his memory, and
this is such a long questline.
Unite him with Tyrion. So you set out across the Plaguelands, collecting various relics from cursed locations, dealing with grave robbers, banshees, and even venturing into the Scarlet Monastery section of Stratholme to recover a certain painting. You bundle these items up, and through the powers of Miranda the Hag, are granted an illusion which allows you to walk through the ranks of the Scarlet Crusade at Hearthglen and deliver the package directly to Talon Fordring. So eventually you make your way there, and Talon asks you to lead him back to his father. This final and famous quest step has, well, it's you being escorted out of Hearthglen by Talon, to be honest, and not the other way around.
This might be one of the longest questlines in the game, by the way.
Talon is slain by the Scarlet Crusade. Finally, at the end of the quest, Tyrion retakes his place as High Lord of the New Order of the Silver Hand and offers several of his possessions as a reward. And it's oftentimes in Classic people will really go out of their way to do this quest, both for the story of course and the rewards, which are also very good. Another multi-zone epic quest which spans so many different zones is often simply referred to as Lincoln's Quest, which, let's just say, has one or two references along the way to another highly popular game that's been around for even longer than World of Warcraft. It starts off with a few mystery items in an abandoned pack in a river in Ungoro Crater. Bringing these items to Lincoln up in Marshall's Refuge, he seems to vaguely remember that he's there for a reason, but you need to investigate to find out more. And this is where the quest
I don't like this because of how much traveling there is. It's a disgusting questline.
To Felwood and finally into Tanaris, where you fashion a totem from the water elemental.
Nah, this one's not it.
Items you've gathered throughout the quest back to Lincoln, he finally remembers his purpose in Ungoro, to slay the fire elemental Blaze Runner. But he says that you are now the hero and you should be the one to defeat him. For this, he offers you one piece of advice. It's dangerous to go alone. After claiming victory against Blaze Runner, you head back and the quest is finally complete. You get a choice of Lincoln's Sword of Mastery or a caster offhand. You also get a fun trinket in Lincoln's Boomerang. This is truly an epic quest which is definitely worth seeing all the way through at least one time. And that is it.
That's how that I would say once.
Questlines and stories which you definitely
I can't believe
there are so many other great
a true Scarlet Crusade with the Scarlet Monastery was not in amongst this list.
But you'll have to get out there and experience
Kinda
them for
sad.
yourselves. And don't forget to be extra careful when taking on some of these epic quest lines on your hardcore characters too. They are well worth doing, of course, but those elite enemies can always put your skills to the test. Are there any other quest lines that you would have included here, and which are your favorite quest stories within the game? Let us know in the comments down below.
I would have definitely put in Scarlet Monastery, Scarlet Crusade questline in there. It's not long. you're not going to get the coolest of loot because it's such low level, but the actual quest line and the fact that it is the Scarlet Crusade